Hope Helen for Boxing Social here at York Hall, Bethnal Green in London for a night of championship boxing coming to you live and exclusively on Boxing Social's YouTube in association with 36 Sport, CMR, Wow Hydrate, Let's Go Management, promoted by Lee Eaton. I'm joined by some wonderful guests. We've got Dion Juma, Ahara Davis, and we've got Don McGuinness as well. Guys, a good night of boxing ahead of us. Let's first reflect on last week for you, Ahara. How are you feeling?
I'm still over the moon. I had a hard camp. Camp was 3 or 4 months long, training 6 days a week, 2 times a day. I put so much into that camp, and I'm so glad that I got the win and I've got the world title shot. Everything paid off.
After a week of being able to reflect, did you watch your fight back and did you think of anything that you maybe could have improved on? You done a good performance, but anything you can take away?
There is always a few mistakes that I'll see that I'll do, that I know that if I'm going to take it up another level, I've got to improve on these things. And you know, I'll be back in the gym in about a week or 2, and I've got to work on the mistakes that I make. So you know, I still celebrate my win, but I still have to look at the things that I did wrong and things that I can't get away with at the top level. And I'll be fixing those things, and I will become a world champion.
Of course, you're having some time off out of the gym, but you are here tonight supporting your stablemate who's fighting for the English title tonight. How excited are you to see him in action?
I'm so excited for him. I've seen Jordan work hard for months and months and months. I've seen him give up his whole life for this game. He is quite quite inexperienced, having only 5 fights, and he's up against someone that's had about 15 fights. So that goes against him. But what I believe goes for him is the hard work and the natural talent that he's got. And I believe that he'll get him out of there in about 6 to 8 rounds. I truly believe so.
Amazing. Don McGuinness, will come on to you. So tonight, what do you make of the card? We've got some really good fights in there, 50-50s. What can you expect to see?
Well, firstly, it's great to have 2 champions here with us tonight anyway, to share in a night like this. We know what York Hall's all about. It's about area titles, English titles, and that's what we've got tonight. That's exactly what we want to see. It's very rare, and I hope I'm not cursing anything here, it's very rare that an area title fight or an English title fight disappoints. And when you look at some of the characters, and it's the storylines we like as well, let's face it, because we can see great 50-50s, but if they're not characters and stories as well, it becomes hard to promote. I mean, these guys know all about that, but we've got great stories here tonight as well. We've got Freezy McBones, we've got, you know, obviously the 2 women that are fighting are great stories as well, Elizabeth and Kirsty, and then you go to the top of the card, you go to English title fights. It's fantastic. This is a packed York Hall tonight. You know, it's called the spiritual home of boxing, and we know why. And so many, I mean, think of the stories that have taken place here, and we're going to see more of that tonight. And I say, it's great to have the company of these 2 gents as well. And what a body shot, by the way. Where did that come from?
I caught him right there.
Yeah.
Bang, left shot to the body. I got to start throwing that shot a lot more.
Yeah, it was some shot. A nice bit of banter between yourself and Josh Taylor. That wasn't, you know, you 2 weren't exactly mates when you were fighting, were you? So it's good to see that.
Taylor, that's something that I've held in my heart for years. And even after the fight was done, I didn't like him. I still had that. Yeah. I still had that certain bitterness in my heart against him. But now I'm a lot older, a lot wiser. I've just totally let that go. I can accept what happened. Yeah. I fought. I got my ass whooped. I'm okay with it. I've learned from the mistakes that I've made, and that's the mistake that I made that I've learned from. And I think that showed in my last fight against Lewis Dixon.
Yeah.
You mentioned Freezy a little while ago. It's his debut tonight. What does it mean to a boxer to have their debut at York Hall, Dion?
Freezy's been on the scene for a long time. He's been in and out of the gyms. I remember one time he come to spar me. I didn't even ask for him. He was just there. He was like, "Oh, can I spar?" I was like, "Freezy, I don't need you, mate." Do you know what I mean? Like, he was looking. He was ready. He wanted a piece of me. So yeah, for him, this means the world. I saw him earlier. He looks ready for it. He looks relaxed. He looks calm. This is the scene. The small ball scenes where you step up. You slowly build your career, you build your fan base, and you just learn to know what it's like, you know, under the big lights. York Hall is a good spot to start, definitely. It's quite close and intimate in this hall. I've had some of my best nights at this place in terms of the atmosphere, because it's so close. When you're up there on the balcony, you literally feel like you can touch the fighters. So yeah.
You mentioned a fan base. He's already got a bit of a fan base himself, including 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather. How much pressure is going to come with that for his debut?
Well, I think it's about practice. And he's been practicing, he's been on his social media, he's been promoting himself from before he was even a pro. So before, I'm not even sure of his amateur record, but I know he's been, everything he does in training or in sparring, he posts about it. And some people don't do it. I never did it that much, but he knew what he had to do to get his name out there. I don't think he's got any major titles as an amateur. He's just started as a pro, so why not? Doing all the right things.
The viral clip that we saw of him showed that he has got the punch power, but the big question mark at the moment is, can he box as well? As someone who sparred with him...
I haven't sparred with him, I said.
Oh, you haven't sparred with him? Okay, so he came in the gym, he wanted to, and you said, no.
Yeah.
Okay, but what do you think? Do you think he's going to be able to box tonight?
Yeah, I think he spent plenty of time with a lot of fighters who are a lot more experienced than him. So he should have that good base. It's just whether he can do it under the lights. It's one thing doing it in training, but can you do it when it matters? Under the pressure, when you've got to win. He's probably brought a lot of people here who want to see him. He talks himself up a lot, so it's pressure he puts on himself as well. So we'll see tonight.
Have you tried his plantain chips?
No, never.
Have you? Has anyone?
I haven't yet.
No. But soon come, after this.
You might throw him out into the crowd tonight if it goes
No
well.
doubt.
What do you make of the ladies who are fighting? We're going to see them first on the card. A lady who's got the Commonwealth silver medal and has done fantastic things in her own country. So she's come over from Nigeria. She's set up camp here. What do you think we're going to see there, Dom?
I'm really interested because I've seen Kirsty Hill. Kirsty was a really good amateur as well. She stepped up. I was at her debut when she finally turned over. I think that obviously a lot of fighters had the COVID situation when they were planning to turn over and stick with the amateur game or not, and again it's delayed a lot of people, but very talented. So it's a really engaging fight, that, and it's a brilliant one to kick off the live broadcast, because obviously Elizabeth Ashoba, she's got a silver at the Commonwealth Games. She was beaten by Michaela Walsh, who is as elite as it gets as an amateur, you know, in professional in boxing. So she's got a real pedigree. She's come over here, she's moved over here, and she's part of the same stable as well with one of her mates from Nigeria as well that we're going to see later on in Kajawa with Tosin Kajawa. So fantastic intrigue in that, and it's an eliminator for a Commonwealth title as well. You know, it's serious business early on in the professional careers of these two women. So again, you've got York Hall full tonight. Fights like that to kick us off from the off. It's fantastic.
I haven't spoken to her yet, but even in articles, how it's written, she seems like she's really confident. She's ready for this fight against Kirsty Hill as well. Obviously, this could come on to the Commonwealth title, which would be really important to her, but other titles are on the line tonight in other fights. The English title, for example, let's talk a little bit about that. O'Hara, anything to say? I know you mentioned that you stayed mate earlier. He's been working really hard for this. How much will that mean to him? What would he want to go on to do next?
This would mean the world to him. I've seen Jordan dedicate his whole life to this game. I'm not saying that his opponent hasn't, but I've seen Jordan give his whole life up for this game, and to win this belt would mean everything to him. It's a belt that I've won. The English title was the first belt that I fought for and I won, and it's a good stepping stone from the British up to the British, then the world, then the European, and then like the Commonwealth. Is a good stepping stone, and it will mean the world to him. I know Jordan's got ambitions of getting to world level, so even after he gets this win, it doesn't end there. He's going to push on. He's going to push on, defend the belt, get the British, then the Commonwealth, then the world title, and I truly believe that Jordan can get to world level, and he will.
And you say within 6 to 8 rounds?
I think this fight ends within 6 to 8 rounds, probably sooner.
Dom, do you think the same kind of thing?
I just can't wait. I'm just going to look forward to it. I'm going to sit on the fence for now because we'll be calling the action myself and Dion. So I'm just going to look forward to it, because I think obviously the fella in the opposite corner is a really engaging character as well, the math magician. So again, we're talking about these storylines that are coming out of these fights. You know, a couple of English champions that know all about winning these belts and what it means and how it can progress your career. That's why I'm so enthused about the fights that we got, and again, the stories that come out of this. And you know what? The loser comes again. It is what it is. It's a night that they get every opportunity, but there's plenty more down the line.
Well, the action is about to start. I can see Kirsty Hill warming up there for her ring walk. So thank you so much, guys, and let's have a fantastic night of boxing.
Who's your favourite Kardashian?
That's a tough one.
Let me have a think.
Chris? Is Chris one of them even? I just picked out a random name.
The hardest thing about fight camp was not going bowling.
Pour some sugar on me. No one sent me a snake in the post.
Jesus Christ, man, that's special.
Have you ever watched a film called The Notebook? Took a few notes from that. The Time Traveller's Wife, P.S. I Love You, chick flicks. That's my type of movie.
gate up ahead, mate. You want me to open it?
No, it's okay, son. I'll get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for our next bout of the evening. Scheduled 6 2-minute rounds in the women's featherweight division. And now, making her way to the ring, Kirsty Hill. And now, ladies and gentlemen, making her way to the ring, Elizabeth Ashoba.
They say your brain goes dreaming in your sleep. So they say in sleep state, the brain thinks much more visually and intuitively. As dream chasers, we accomplish that wrong way. Turn everything up a little bit here. Right?
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled for 6 2-minute rounds in the women's featherweight division. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, timekeeper at the bell, Nick White, and the third man in the ring in charge of the action, referee Mark Bates. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. She's wearing the white with black trim. Her official weight of 9 stones, 1 pound. She's currently undefeated with 3 wins. Hailing from Lincolnshire, United Kingdom, Kirsty Hill. And her opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. She's wearing the white and gold. Her official weight of 9 stone. She is currently undefeated with 3 wins, and all 3 wins come in by way of knockout. Hailing from Nigeria, Elizabeth Ashoba.
Well, final instructions given by the referee, and on we go. Our first broadcast of the evening, live from a very busy York Hall, spiritual home of boxing, and what an engaging contest we have here. Kirsty Hill wearing the silver and black from Grimsby, the 31-year-old, in against Elizabeth Ashoba, who wears the white shorts with the tassels and the black vest, and both these with perfect records, 3 fights as professionals, 3 wins. Ashoba with 3 inside the distance as well. Kirsty Hill, well, all her victories by way of points, but it's been a fast and frenetic start already, and Ashoba really going to work, and delighted to have alongside me tonight a cruiserweight champion, recently retired, but a man very still much top of his game, Dion Juma. And looking forward to the action tonight.
Loving this already. They're both out the block straight away. Straight away. Ashoba just looking to slip on the outside and cross deliver those lethal lead hooks.
Well, just had a little flavour of the power that Ashoba has there with a hook that Kirsty Hill. She's had to cover up here. She takes a big right as well, and you can hear the oohs and ahs and the crowd here around the balcony here at York Hall, because this is a fantastic start from the now Bristol-based Nigerian, the 24-year-old, and Kirsty Hill, a very talented amateur as well, experienced as an amateur. Obviously, both these ladies are fairly new to the pro game, but know their way around the ring, and this has been a brilliant start.
Kirsty needs to get back to that amateur base and get back on her jab. She's the longer fighter, she's the rangier. I'm sure she's got that better amateur base as well. Ashoba means business, doesn't she?
Well, she really has set to work. Not afraid to let the hands go as she's doing again, and just Kirsty a little bit off balance there as these hooks are, well, they're landing with some venom as well. It's fair to say Elizabeth is not a lady that's too worried about what's coming back at the minute.
I think Elizabeth would be grateful to hear that bell right now.
Well, great action in the opening round. This scheduled for 6 two-minute rounds, of course. It has been an interesting tale for both these women. Elizabeth Ashoba moving to these shores. She had her first 2 pro fights in Nigeria, blasting out Margaret Iblam and Eminat Yakindi before stopping the very seasoned Gabriela Metze in Swindon just before Christmas. Now based in the southwest, won silver at the Commonwealth Games, just picked by Michaela Walsh of Ireland. So real statement that just in the summer in Birmingham, of course, the games, and Kirsty Hill with a fine amateur career herself. You have to say though, Ashoba making a very, very fast and impressive start to this fight.
Good.
And again, both women meeting in the middle. Kirsty Hill had just tried to establish the jab at the start of the round, but there's plenty of fire coming back from Ashoba.
Kirsty can just start throwing that jab at distance. She doesn't have to come into every single jab. Just establish that jab. Because Elizabeth's just going to wing away. That's all she's going to do so far. But it's working.
Again, there's plenty of meat behind each shot that she throws, Ashoba.
Can she do it for the whole 6 rounds? Remains to be seen.
A decent hook as well lands, though. As you say, she is winging them in, isn't she?
Kirsty working there on the inside.
Huge opportunity for both women. This a Commonwealth title fight eliminator in the featherweight division. So a couple of rounds in, Leon. I mean, it's been the aggression of Elizabeth Ashoba and Kirsty Hill, trying to get the jab working at times, but it has been kind of a relentless attack from Ashoba.
Yeah, I think Kirsty just needs to take her time a bit with the jab coming on the inside. She doesn't have to engage every time. She can jab, she can create the distance again and start again. Don't have to land at every jab.
Well, so much action to bring you tonight. It's a fantastic card that we have. Don't forget, later on, Alfie Winter in action against Darryl Pearce. We have a light heavyweight contest, Joe Giles and Patryk Polasik. Stablemate of Elizabeths and Tosin Kajawa in against Sergei Zhendov. With this.
Now Ashoba starting to utilise the jab.
Will really catching fire again at the start of this third round.
Winging them in.
Well, you mentioned, can she keep this work rate up, and it hasn't suppressed at all, has it? It has been.
No, it hasn't dwindled at all, has it? Good shot from Kirsty. I think she knows she has to step it up here.
Well, the 2-minute rounds do fly as well. And it's what the scoring referee, of course, thinks about this. He's the all-important man.
That's better work from Kirsty. Just start again.
To see maybe use the feet better, get out of these exchanges when she's in range. Obviously, Ashoba's just happy to swing, isn't she? She had some success with that.
Ashoba's definitely the stronger fighter out of the two. As I said, can she keep it going? Good shots.
It certainly has been one of those fights we have a feeling out process, that's for sure. Another good round, but how would you score this halfway stage, Dion?
I have Ashoba.
Up by 2 rounds. I could score that last round of 10-10.
Tactics of Ashoba, she's just not let Kirsty settle in those first couple of rounds, and just Kirsty's possibly as the fight goes on will get more of a measure that you feel that she did in that previous round.
Yeah, you can start to see she's getting into it now. That third round, Kirsty really starts to get a rhythm, and Ashoba didn't really know what to do towards the end of the round.
Kirsty is the more experienced of the two, at 31 as well. She's 7 years the senior. Good, solid England international. National champion at lightweight. And Ashoba made a bit of a name for herself in Nigeria a couple of times. National champion before brilliant success at the Commonwealth Games. Just using that jab and flicking that jab out of Ashoba now.
She can definitely box Ashoba. Totally different style from the way she was in the first 2 rounds.
So all the fight and fury has just calmed down a bit now, hasn't it? She's thinking about the shots a bit more.
Yeah, I think she was maybe thinking she could take him out in the first couple, but now she's seen how tough she is. She's gone back to her boxing. Good idea, in my opinion. Good body shots. That's better from Kirsty.
Well, the pace has certainly slowed.
Yeah, Ashoba looks like she's trying to catch Kirsty when she's coming in on the counter. And plenty of body shots this fight. Money in the bank, they call it. It's an investment.
just a little bit scrappy at the end of that fourth round. And again, it's getting trickier to score these, really, isn't it? They're getting plenty of give and take in that round. Many of the women want these 3 rounds, or 3-minute rounds, I should say. It's, you can see how it would suit certain fighters, obviously, that extra minute. We saw really Ashoba going for it in the opening couple of rounds. The 2 minutes do fly by, don't they? And it can be easy for a fighter to suddenly find themselves a couple of rounds and it's hard to get back.
I think 3 minutes rather than 2 makes it a totally different sport, to be honest. Like, you see the way how hard they go throughout the whole round, but that last round, you can really think and you can really catch the counter shot while the guy's tiring. So, yeah, I think they should have 3-minute rounds. We get more knockouts, that's for sure.
Yep. But the counter argument is, would it be as exciting because there is that time pressure on the fighters? They do tend to want to put so much more in. We'll see where we go with that.
Kirsty. Good right over the top. Oh, got caught on the counter. It's a clever shot from Ashoba. Caught the uppercut in, slipped the right hand, lovely. Defended those shots well, Kirsty. Takes these shots well, doesn't she?
Two good operators. It's Kirsty Hill on the front foot.
Kirsty working that body and up to the head.
Been a really interesting fight, the way it started, the way it's progressing here. We could do with a few more rounds after this one, really, couldn't we? The 6 might not be enough. As Ashoba is trying to have the final say in the round. Well, I was just going to ask you the question going into the 6th and final round. How do you see it?
I have Ashoba winning 1 round so far.
So all to play for. Product of and Juma. Place the York Hall, isn't it? You were talking about it before. Yourself and O'Hara Davis talking about the York Hall and how special this place is. It is so unique, isn't it?
For me, I fought a few big places, big arenas, Matchmelon in Germany, Box in East London, and for me this is the ultimate. Still, all my small hall fights here made me feel good, made me feel at home. The fans, the intimacy, as I said, it's so small. You can feel like you can touch the fighters.
Well, the 6th and final round. And it could be close. Who's going to take control of this? Will somebody, either Kirsty Hill
Try
or
from Kirsty. More of that. Jab step back. She's skillful enough to touch her on the counter every time. Ashoba obviously very strong. She's got to take her chances. Lovely shot, body and head.
Lots of clever work from Kirsty Hill.
More of that from Kirsty. Lovely defence there. Both good work. Ashoba looking a bit tired now.
There's so much she's put into the opening couple of rounds from Ashoba's point of view. And Kirsty Hill's really grown into the fight and used the experience and has got a handle, I think, on the raw aggression and youthful attacks, really, of Elizabeth Ashoba, who's got an awful lot to build on. She's going to be a really exciting talent to watch.
Lovely little flurry and to the head by Kirsty. She's turning into those shots as well.
And the final say there just from Kirsty Hill. Well, this could be a close one, couldn't it? I mean, obviously the opening couple of rounds were clearly Ashoba's. She just, I think, took Kirsty Hill by surprise a little bit. Then she did calm down. Kirsty Hill then also grew into the fight, starting boxing as well as she can. Play on the spot now. To the scoring referee. It's tight going into that final round. According to your card, it was tight.
So tight the way I thought in the last round. So I won. It should be a draw, shouldn't it? We'll see.
Did Ashoba do enough of that? A couple of eye-catching rounds, some heavy artillery. Fighters called into the centre of the ring. So the York Hall crowd and us ringside here commentating, we're about to find out exactly who marches on or who loses that. Oh, these two fighters, of course, with 3 professional fights to their names, 3 wins. And will we get the draw that Julia thinks it could possibly be?
Putting me on the spot now, aren't you?
We'll see soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, we go to the referee scorecard. Referee Mark Bates scores the bout 58-56. And your winner, Elizabeth Ashoba.
Well, delight for Elizabeth Ashoba, 58-56. She gets the nod. Disappointment for Kirsty Hill. Well, it was a tight fight, I suppose. You're not going to complain about that, Dion. It's the way it goes. Kirsty Hill obviously can come again. It's a tight fight. I think the first couple of rounds cost her.
She had definitely landed a more meaningful shot than she has over. But good fight, both fights. I'd love to see her again down the line.
So Elizabeth Ashoba, the 24-year-old from Ogun State in Nigeria, now based in Bristol, moves to 4-0. It's the first time she has gone the distance. First 3 opponents were all stopped. For Kirsty Hill, well, first defeat on her record, but a very talented fighter and one I'm sure we'll see great things from again. But from Elizabeth Ashoba's point of view, that was a Commonwealth title eliminator, so it puts her in very, very good stead. And she's made her way out of the ring. She is ringside now, and about to talk to her is Hope Allen.
Elizabeth, congratulations, you've done it again. How are you feeling?
First of all, I will thank God. I will thank God for the opportunity, for the great opportunity. I'm so happy I won my fight, and I give God all the glory.
You fell on your knees. How hard was camp this time round?
I was so happy because the fight was a tough fight, you know. But I have to give it all. I have to give what it takes. Because Kirsty Hill, she's from England, and I'm from Nigeria. I had to leave my family, to leave my friends, to leave my loved ones to come here to fight. So I just had to use the, I had to use the energy, everything I had to win this fight. Because it is what it is. I miss my family so much, so I had to be in camp for a long time. I'm so happy and I'm so glad to win the fight.
A lot of sacrifice. She really brought it in there today. She was quite resilient. The first time you haven't been able to knock out your opponent. What did she bring that surprised you?
You know, she's a tough fighter, Kirsty. She's a tough fighter, you know. You have to kudos to the woman fighting, you know. But she's so tough. But I came here prepared. I was prepared with the support of God and support of my coach, Mehdi Bilabi, and the support of my manager. They give it all for this camp to come true and for me to win the fight. So I had to give her my best. You know, I had to give everything I had, the strength, the stamina. Though she was a tough fighter, but I show her in the ring I'm a tougher fighter than her, you understand? So that's just it.
This fight was important to you as well because it's going to open up doors for future opportunities, a Commonwealth title perhaps. How much would that mean to you to have that belt around you?
To have the Commonwealth title, it means a lot to me, and it will go a long way for me to go back home with the Commonwealth title. You know, it's going to be amazing and loved. So I'm looking up to that, to have the Commonwealth title in my hand. I can't wait for it, and I'm going to be prepared. I'm going to be well prepared for it. I promise.
Coach, your comments after that performance?
I'm very delighted with the performance tonight, and she done extremely well, and that's exactly what I expect her to do today. So we're all happy.
Well, I'm so excited to see what the future holds. I'm sure you're going to go home and see your family perhaps now?
Yes, to see them just feel, because I'm going to go to camp, you know, for the Commonwealth title.
Amazing, well thank you so much. Congratulations once again. After the break, we've got our first light heavyweight competition of the night.
Who's your favorite Kardashian?
That's a tough one.
Let me have a think.
Chris? Is Chris one of them even? Ooh. I just picked out a random name.
The hardest thing about fight camp was not going bowling.
Pour some sugar on me. No one sent me a snake in the post.
Jesus Christ, man, that's special.
Have you ever watched a film called The Notebook? Took a few notes from that. The Time Traveller's Wife, P.S. I Love You, chick flicks. That's my type of movie.
There's a gate up ahead, mate. You want me to open it?
No, it's okay, son. I'll get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for our next bout of the evening. 4 3-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. And now, making his way to the ring, Patryk Polasik. And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent making his way to the ring, Giles. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled for 4 3-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, timekeeper at the bell, Ashley McGill, and the third man in the ring in charge of the action, referee Kieran McCann. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the black trunks. His official weight of 12 stone, 6 pounds and 3 ounces. He has a record of 8 fights, 1 draw, 1 win, and that win comes in by way of knockout. Hailing from Poland, Patryk Polasik. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He is wearing the white and navy blue. His official weight of 12 stone 6 pounds and 15 ounces. He has a record of 4 fights, 1 loss, and 3 wins. Hailing from Wickford, United Kingdom, Giles.
So referee Kieran McCann gives final instructions for this, a 4-round contest in the light heavyweight division. And it's Joe Giles with plenty of support from Wickford in Essex. The 24-year-old wears the white trunks with black and gold in against Patryk Polasik from Poland, the 29-year-old in the long black shorts. And Giles, well, this is his 5th professional contest. It didn't go his way last time out in September of last year, beaten by Juris Jundowskis. Stopped in that contest. It had been so far so good prior to that, 3 wins in his first 3 pro contests, so he's got to deal with that blip in against a man of the road in Polasik. He's just got 1 win to his name, 6 defeats. He's been stopped a couple of times as well. What will he offer here tonight? And it's so important for Giles Dion to just get that winning feeling again and just get the confidence back after that blip last time out.
Yeah, this will be a perfect matchup for him, especially after the loss. Just get back on track, see what he can do. I'm sure he's got great ambitions, so he needs to test himself right now. When you can come back from a loss like that, it shows true character, so credit to him.
And he's got the support here as well. That adds a little bit of pressure for him, but he's going to want to do the business tonight. He's just having a good look in this opening round.
Well, if you've got big ambitions, you need to want the pressure. If you want to be on the big stage, if you want to be O2 Arena, fighting these big fights, then you need to welcome this pressure. It's all good practice. No better place to practice than your call. Very cagey. Joe trying to land the jab. Not taking too many risks right now.
Polasik is just with a couple of wild overhand lefts, but nowhere near the target. I've seen him on these shores a couple of times, even stopped a couple of times in recent memory. It was the back end of last year. Both occasions, actually, he was stopped by Troy Jones in Wolverhampton and Brandon Jones in Dudley, so I think he just needs to avoid fellas called Jones in the West Midlands. I think Polasik, it's not gone his way.
Giles needs to keep that right hand up. Every time he throws it, it takes just a bit too long to get back. And Patryk's just whipping him over the top. Coming closer and closer every time. Like so.
He's a bit wild and rugged, the man from Poland. That should have settled down. Joe Giles got out of the system. He's back in there again. Exercise a few feelings with the first round.
Definitely. First round started more. You could have watched a bit about your fighter. For a lot of these journeymen, there might not be much footage about them. So that's where he gets a true depiction of the way he's fighting big, the way he's fighting moves, what shots being thrown. So second round should be a bit better.
How hard is it when you are in against somebody that's ambition is not quite the same as yours, should we say? And again, as we saw Polasik there, he's reduced to really the big overhands. He's just trying to wild swing, but other than that, cage operating. But sometimes, obviously, we see these journeymen that they just don't want to engage, and it can be so frustrating, so tricky.
Well, I think the issue will come down to nerves. If you're a nervous fighter, then it's tricky. If your ambition is bigger than theirs, there is no reason why you shouldn't be taking them out, beating them up, taking them out of there. Nerves are not an excuse if you're an ambitious fighter. Nice hook round the side from Giles. I think Giles can trust himself to just step in a little bit closer. Just a bit too careful right now. Trust his feet, quick feet will get him in. Get in, get out. Lovely feints for Giles, starting to work.
It was the second round in that last contest where things unravelled a bit for Joe Giles. He was caught with a right to the head, and ultimately that was the end of his evening.
So Patryk's throwing that lead hook every time. Giles needs to see that and counter. Came up in time there, that's better. Good jab.
Well, Polasik still quite happy to just kind of march forward, trying to claim centre of the ring.
Giles got lovely lateral movement for the bigger man.
He's using the ring well.
Yeah. Giles feinting well. He needs to throw something off the feint. Good job.
Big wild swing again from Polasik.
Polasic's just waiting for the right moment, is he? He would have known Giles got stopped in his last fight.
He's quite an awkward campaigner, isn't he?
It looks like he's there for the stoppage. Because he's not going to beat Giles otherwise, is he?
Well, he's not. He's not one of these road warriors that's come to just get on his bike. He's giving it a real go in there. And as you say, he knows exactly what happened to Giles last time out. Do you think from Giles' point of view now, he's 2 rounds into this, it's a 4-rounder, get it out of the system, stay composed, do what he's doing, use the ring as he has been doing, and just keep taking these rounds?
Use the ring well, yeah, but you don't want to give Patryk confidence at the same time. So you don't want to be giving too much space for him to just coming on and on and on. Because Patryk will get confidence from that. As you said, as I said, he's here for the knockout. He knows he's not going to win the points. He's a journeyman. If he loses, no big deal. If he gets a knockout, lovely. So he wants to hold centre ring, jamming, whip some of them body shots in, and the right hand.
10 seconds.
Joe Giles started his professional career in against Pavel Garage, who we've seen here already at York Hall. Opened the show today.
That's better actually from Giles.
Good jabs to head and body. Shake of the head there from Polasik.
Good, Giles keeping him occupied with that jab. Doesn't always have to land clean, it can even hit the guard. Just keeping his man occupied.
doing plenty of thinking in there, Joe Giles. He's, as you say, using the jab well. Not taking any risks.
Good shot from Giles. Good right hand.
So that danger shot, though, he's got to be mindful of the big, wild overhand.
But Joe's now countering off Patryk's shots, which is so much better than the first couple of rounds. Good movement.
It's possibly more of a test than maybe the Giles camp thought they were going to get tonight, because this is a very fired up Polasik who, as you intimated in the last round, is going to try everything to stop his man. A very useful 4 rounds for Giles. Should he get the 4 rounds under his belt and everything go his way?
100%.
Polasik letting the hands go. So what is this going to do for his confidence? In the last fight, he's had a nightmare. He's been stopped. He's got in there. He may have subconsciously even thought it was going to be an easy night's work. He's got a guy that's trying to hit him in everything. And so far, so good. So when he gets out of this, gets through this, it's going to be a lot more beneficial than maybe anybody thought it would be.
How long ago was, when was his last fight?
It was in the end of September of last year. Had a little bit of time to dwell on it as well.
So it's been a bit of time.
Second round, 4 and final round.
The 4th and final round starts like each of the previous 3 rounds of Polasik, piling forward and being slightly wild and trying to land big on 24-year-old Joe Giles, who's brought a good few from Essex with him here to York Hall Bethnal Green tonight. Well, defensively, sound enough off the ropes there, Joe Giles, but doesn't want to be sitting there too long.
Caught by that lead hook a lot, Giles. Something to work on in training. I think sometimes he's just giving Patryk just a bit too much space to walk into. He'll do his work, and when he steps off, Patryk just walks forward. He's on the back foot.
He hasn't registered a stoppage win yet, Joe, in the first 3 wins of the career. So will that come? Is that what you're kind of suggesting? Maybe that's an element of his game that he needs to work on to...
Yeah. He needs to be throwing his shots and looking to step in again, rather than going off backwards, left or right. and then looking to catch a breather. First and second phases.
Inside the final minute of the fourth and final round. Still Polasik, still trying to land those big, return it, overhand, lefts and rights, and Giles has really had to concentrate. A little trickle of blood now from the nose of the Essex man.
He tried a counter uppercut.
Final knockings, and Polasik is chasing Giles around the ring now, really trying to let everything go as Giles fires back from the ropes. A good bit of action at the end of that fourth and final round, and again lots of aggression from the man from Poland. Good jab from Joe Giles pretty much throughout the contest. You're happy enough with what you've seen and pretty confident that Giles obviously has done more than enough to have the arm raised.
Definitely. He should be well happy with that. Last fight, you can imagine how much it probably devastated him. He's back in the game, he's got his first win back, now he can move forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, we go to the referee scorecard. Referee Kieran McCann scores the bout 39-37. And your winner, Joe Giles!
So Joe Giles back to winning ways. Didn't have it all his own way. Referee Kieran McCann scoring 39-37. But just so good to get that defeat out of the system from the young fella from Essex, who is very happy now with his team. And obviously those that have paid to see their man in action, well, takes their applause and a big smile on the face from the man from Wickford. Who can now move on with his career. We're going to move on with plenty more action here tonight from York Hall. It's coming thick and fast, and Joe Giles is just about ready to speak to Hope Ellen.
Joe, congratulations. What a four-rounder. How are you feeling?
Yeah, all right, I feel good. Taking off a bit of rust there. I didn't really feel myself, but next one I'll be better and come back.
Last year didn't end the way you wanted it to. Was this the fight that you wanted to come back on?
Yeah, definitely, but I was more nervous for this fight than my debut. Coming back after a loss like that, it's hard, but I've got that one out of the way now and on to better things.
How active do you want to be this year? How many more fights can we expect from you from 2023?
I want to have at least 5 this year, if not 6, just try to stay busy. I think that's how I'll improve.
Got a lot of supporters here tonight. Everyone shout for supporting Joe. Hey! How does it feel to have that much support?
Yeah, it's amazing, you know, coming out here selling this many tickets, it's amazing. I just hope I can keep impressing them.
Well, Joe, congratulations. Can't wait to see the rest of 2023 for you. Have a good day. Okay, on the way after the break. Thank you, Joe. We've got a super middleweight competition from an exciting 21-year-old prospect called Tosin.
Who's your favorite Kardashian?
That's a tough one.
Let me have a think.
Chris? Is Chris one of them even? I just picked out a random name.
The hardest thing about fight camp was not going bowling.
Pour some sugar on me. No one sent me a snake in the post.
Jesus Christ, man, that's special.
Have you ever watched a film called The Notebook? Took a few notes from that. The Time Traveller's Wife, P.S. I Love You, chick flicks. That's my type of movie.
There's a gate up ahead, mate. You want me to open it?
No, it's okay, son. I'll get it.
evening, scheduled 6 3-minute rounds in the super middleweight division. And now, making his way to the ring, Sergey Kusenda. And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent making his way to the ring, Tosin Kejawa. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds in the super middleweight division. This bout is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, the timekeeper at the bell, Ashley McGill, and the third man in charge of the action, referee Mark Bates. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, he is wearing the pure white trunks. His official weight of 12 stone, 6 pounds and 8 ounces. He has a professional record of 15 fights, 4 wins, and 2 of those wins come in by way of knockout. Hailing from Ukraine, Sergey Kusenda. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He's wearing the white and red. His official weight of 12 stones, 5 pounds and 9 ounces. He is currently undefeated with 7 wins. And 5 of those wins come in by way of knockout. Hailing from Bristol, United Kingdom, Tosin Kejawa.
Referee Mark Bates with the final instructions, and on we go with the action. And in the red corner we have Sergey Kusenda from Ukraine, now based in Germany. He's got 4 wins to his name, 11 defeats, the 29-year-old. And in against a man, well, there's a fair bit of excitement about him, Tosin Kejawa, the 21-year-old, originally from Lagos in Nigeria, now based in Bristol. Wears the red trunks with red band in against the all-white trunks of Kusenda. And again, Kejawa, 7 fights, 7 wins, 5 inside the distance. His first 4 fights were all in Nigeria, all inside the distance. He's been in with the likes of Lewis Van Pooch since coming to these shores as well, and so far so good. A stablemate of Elizabeth Ashoba, who we saw in action beating Kirsty Hill a little while ago. She's ringside watching her pal, who's claimed centre of the ring. And again, we said before, Dion, heard about this fella. He's exciting. It's good to see him in the flesh for the first time.
So far looking decent, good balance. Looks well scored. I'm excited.
A decent amateur, a two-time Nigerian national champion. Very committed to the sport, wanted to come to the UK to pursue the opportunities. It's great to see the UK really is the home of boxing in so many ways. So many American fighters want to come here now and ply the trade, which was never a thing. Boxers from all over the world basing themselves here.